Wrestling Entertainment Series cancels their show once again. Alex Windsor wins the Tokyo Joshi Princess Wrestling International Princess Championship. Alexxis Falcon wins the Rev Pro UK's Queen of the Ring. Pac will defend the AEW All Atlantic Championship at OTT's Poetry Slam. AEW's Kip Sabian has been announced to WAW's Fightmare 4. And New Japan Wrestling planning to return to the UK. Hello and welcome. This is, of course, TNT, Great British Wrestling Podcast for Great British Wrestling, as featured on bodyslam.net and the Jonas Podcasting Network. It is warm here in the UK. I'm beginning to get tanned a little bit. I'm noticing. I love the sun. The sun loves me. You don't like the sun, do you, Dan?
I'm sweating balls.
I am, of course, the Great British Attacker, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most. Up there, to the side. Joining me, as always, is Big Daddy Dan, Mr. Daniel Allen, just Dan for short. How are we doing today?
I'm hot.
You're hot.
I'm in a good mood. I love the sun. I really do. And the downside is I've been building flat pack furniture out in the sun today for a friend of mine for his new business, where we couldn't build it in the unit, so we were out in the sun building flat pack furniture.
See, I would quite enjoy that with a nice refreshing beer, maybe.
Nice. Couldn't possibly comment.
I'll even have one of those Copperbergs on ice on one of these days.
No, you won't.
Oh, well, I have been at it. Not often. I don't drink very often, as you know very well. But it's been another good week for British wrestling. There's a hell of a lot to talk about. There's calamities to talk about. There's great things to talk about.
There is. And I got to go to a great British wrestling show that I will talk much more about later on.
Indeed, and of course, we've got Mr. Stephen Sowden, the tribal chief of the Big Fat Geeks. We've got his review of when he went to Ringmasters in Coventry for Wrestle Carnival. I myself, I didn't go to a live show this week, but I do have reviews coming for Kamikaze Pro, which is available on Vimeo, as well as BWR, their anniversary show, 2 anniversary shows. Which is available on BWR on demand. But as I say, we've got a lot of news, we've got a lot of previews, we've got some European news. We're just going to jump right in and we're going to talk about...
a cluster?
Yes, a right cluster of fucks, really.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, a shit show.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean... Wrestling Entertainment Series, or WES, as if you don't know, were the promotion set up in the UK by the former authors of Payne.
Well, they never actually did make it to the UK. They were set up in the US and aimed to be having their first show in Dubai.
Yeah, of course. Then... we were a second choice country, weren't we? Of course. Yes. It was due to feature some big stars from, Impact Wrestling and some of the top released stars from WWE and WWE NXT, and even a UFC fighter thrown in there for some reason.
Who had previously said that wrestling was completely fake and rubbish and a waste of time.
Yes, he's the guy. That one. He did kick the crap out of Brock Lesnar though once, so... It was after Lesnar had the stomach thing and he literally targeted the stomach, so which you would do as a fighter, of course. But of course, as we mentioned, they were scheduled to go ahead after cancelling their first show, which was due to be on the Jubilee weekend. Of course, that sold poorly. They blamed the fact that there was a Jubilee weekend, and that was why tickets didn't sell. So they rescheduled for what was supposed to be last weekend. Obviously, they lost a few stars, but gained a couple of new stars. In my opinion, they actually upgraded from Adam Scherr to Moose, and they actually added some British wrestling talent this time.
They did some good British wrestling talent as well to fill the 10,000-seat Motorpoint Arena.
Yeah, I mean, Zach Zodiac was due to be on the show. Jody Fleisch, the
Incredible
Casey,
Molly
Spartan, She Walls, and Big Damo, although he's technically it still counts somewhat. So they actually had some recognizable talents for the UK to possibly get behind, as well as some of the top stars. But then we found out that some of the top stars weren't actually going to be on the show, and she repeatedly said she was not going to be on the show. I now know how to pronounce her name. Now it's Fanene. Lena Fanene, yes, or the former Nia Jax, spoke out a few times about the fact that she wasn't going to be on this show, despite being almost the focal point of the poster. We then found out from, what was it, Matthew Renthold, we mentioned this one last week. What was his thing? The fact that they said they were going to have him on the show. They said they were going to pay him up front, and then they ghosted him. And then he told us that he'd spoken to other talents who told them that hotel arrangements and so forth hadn't been arranged. Maybe they thought, because apparently they did were giving down payments and whatnot, so maybe they thought they didn't have to pay for the travel.
Possibly. I'll tell you what, why don't I read out the press release that they gave, and then we can mention the one fantastic wrestler who has tried to make a difference afterwards.
Yes, please do.
Dear fans and followers, we have had to cancel the event scheduled for this Saturday at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham, England. We are deeply disappointed in the news that we have to share with you. With so many talents not showing up, we have no choice than to cancel the event. Our team worked so hard on this event day in and day out for the fans to come for a different type of wrestling event, and believe that we will still be able to show that in the near future. We don't want to say that all of our talent that was scheduled have been paid in full. We don't want to say that all of our talent that was scheduled have been paid in full.
Yeah, it's really bad English.
And that Lena Fanene was paid her deposit as well, while she changed her mind, not wanting to show up and wrestle anymore. For now, we have to apologise for this, but we promise it is not the end, and we will see you here soon. WES. Oh, so much to pick apart.
Yeah, I don't think they're coming back anytime soon.
No, I really don't think they are. And the wrestling world in general is quite pissed off at the fact that they are blaming the talent for this.
Yeah, a lot of people spoke out. Chelsea Green, I know Matt Cardona done a reply to somebody. I don't think he actually made it, but lots of big Matthew Rayhole again spoke out. It's just, two guys who thought they could maybe throw a wrestling company together, who didn't realize that there's a business behind wrestling. There's a whole catalog of business behind wrestling, from marketing to paperwork to logistics.
Yeah, the people that were working every day definitely weren't the PR team.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. They had, they really should have. They should have been booking. Should have been contacting guys like What Culture, like Coldaholic, like us. They should have
been contacting local media.
I'm not saying we're on What Culture or any of those guys' levels. We're not. But I'm saying they could have come to us. They could have come onto their show. They could have promoted themselves. As you say, they could have been on local television. They could have been on the BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, ITV Plus.
Have wrestling?
God, why not? Yeah. It's not just a problem with them, because it's kind of a systemic problem with a lot of wrestling promotions, is they don't actually have a business mind behind them. Sometimes they're too focused on the wrestling, they're too focused on trying to promote great shows, but not taking the whole picture into account.
However, let's give a big shout out to one wrestler who had already booked his flights and decided that he was coming to the UK, and decided that he was going to make the best of the situation. Dean Mutardi, Mojo Rawley. He decided to do a signing session for anyone that turned up.
I know. What a top bloke. Hype!
Fair play.
Hype!
He
Fair
was
play to him.
proper hype, and he said that any money that he made would be going to British wrestlers who hadn't been paid deposits for the show.
Although it has been reported today that now all British-based talents have been paid, and this has been confirmed by Casey. That's a situation that's only happened this morning. So,
you've given me news that I did not know.
Yes, in fact, there we go. News from our show that you didn't get on Cultaholic or thing, unless they've done a new video about it already, which I really doubt.
So yeah, we can say we have some exclusive news there.
Yeah, exactly. We did it. We waited, you see. We thought we'd see if there was any more news to come.
But yeah, that's the end of our WES news and quite possibly the end of WES.
But I tell you what, guys, if you would like us to do more up-to-date news, more when big stories come out in the UK, if you want us to do big dives on these on a daily or twice every few days, shorter videos where we go on more detail about certain things, let us know. We're always looking to improve ourselves. We're always looking at new ideas on what we can do to make this show better, to make the show more accessible. So please, if there are topics you want us to cover in our weekly roundup, please write them down in the comment section, and we will look to cover these in any detail that you'd like us to. If you want us to fantasy book, you want us to do more drafting, we will do that, and we will be doing it once myself and Daniel get ourselves sorted on Twitch, because we will be doing a big universal WWE 2K Brit, and we'll be running our own promotions on a weekly basis. So that's something possibly to look forward to.
I'm terrified.
You do a weekly YouTube. How can you be terrified of doing Twitch?
People are going to see how shit I am at 2K22.
I haven't actually played it yet, but I was never a gamer as a kid. I really wasn't. I never did huge amounts of gaming apart from one game, right? Because other games, I would literally get my ass kicked every time I go around, FIFA, the latest beat 'em up. Okay, I was pretty good at Tekken and a few different beat 'em ups, but most of the time, gun games, anything like that, they absolutely annihilated me. Then came SmackDown. And I liked SmackDown because I was a big wrestling fan. So I played it, and I played it, and I played it. And nobody could ever beat me on SmackDown.
Can't I just beat you all up in real life? It's so much easier.
Oh, that's not fair. You're like 6 foot giant man over there, and I'm your typical British wrestler.
Yeah, that was my comment I got from Alex Echo.
Yeah, I did. Poor Alex. I really feel bad for any UK talent actually having to stand next to you if they're not in the at least 6 foot region. Oh, I've got to get you next to old Jack Bandicoot. Oh, that's gonna be brilliant. Yeah, let's carry on. Look, we've had a bit of fun. We've poked some fun. Let's get down to some serious news. In serious, Alex Windsor won the Tokyo Joshi Princess Wrestling International Princess Championship
at Summer Sun Princess 2022.
That's a lot of princesses.
But there was only one princess who won, and that was Alex
Windsor. Their main title is the Princess of Princess Championship. But she took on Maki Ito at the recent Summer Sun Princess 2022. It was a good match. I have seen it. It's on Wrestle Universe live, British commentary by Chris Brooks, who actually does very well on commentary. He's a good commentator, and I'd like to hear more of Chris Brooks on commentary. And he did a really good job calling this match. As a whole, I wouldn't put it on my best Alex Windsor matches so far this year because she's had so many bangers, but it was still a really good match. I would still go, if you got Wrestle Universe, if you don't, I think they're doing a 2-week free trial. So go check it out. Just 2 weeks free trial. So Alex Windsor, well done. Congratulations. Great to see British talent doing well on international level.
And continuing with Alex Windsor's fantastic run at the moment, let's move on to Rev Pro.
Well, Alexxis Falcon will be the next person to challenge Alex Windsor, and it will be at Rev Pro UK Summer Sizzler, which is in Manchester on July 23rd. And I will be there at that show. I booked myself a really swank hotel for this one, actually. I went a bit out on this one. I really did. And really looking forward to a couple of days in Manchester as well, because I combined it with my trip to Liverpool for TNT Extreme as well. But yes, Alexxis Falcon, because she won the Rev Pro UK Queen of the Ring. So she defeated Kanji in the final, which I was really surprised at that. I really expected Kanji to win the Rev Pro UK Queen of the Ring and go and face Alex Windsor, because I believe she still holds the Southside Women's Championship.
I believe so.
So I'm sure Andy Qualden would like to combine those at one point, and because Kanji, of course, is the Progress Women's Champion, I'm sure he would like his champion to beat their champion, because he kind of like that every now and then. Just saying. I'm not kidding. Well, sometimes. But it should be an absolutely fantastic match. Of course, Alexxis Falcon technically will be the hometown girl, sort of. She's based in that northwest section, so she's going to have the crowd support against the usually very popular Alex Windsor, of course, London. She has become the
Queen of the South.
Almost, yeah, pretty much. She took that title from Kanji, in my opinion. For me, she's the queen of British wrestling, in my opinion. I do believe Alex Windsor is the best British women's wrestler. And I would put her in probably a lot of top 5, top 10s of the world right now, because she really is on, and not to steal a line from Will Ospreay, but she's on another level.
She is very high as far as independent British women go. There is no two ways about that.
But that's not all for the Summer Sizzler news, as the Rev Pro UK Tag Team Championships will be on the line, as Sunshine Machine will once again defend their championships against Lycos Gym, after Lycos Gym beat them during the World Tag League. So they were like, well, we pinned you in the World Tag League, so we deserve a title shot. I mean, technically true.
Technically true, but is this a match I want to see again?
It does seem like they have faced off a lot before, but, Lycos Gym, again, they are that kind of area where they are from, so it doesn't help putting, it doesn't hurt making sure you've got Lycos Gym on your card when you're in the North West.
It never hurts to have Lycos Gym on your card, ever.
No, of course it doesn't. And of course, not all tag team news, because Aussie Open will face the Velocities in the finals of the Great British Tag League, which very obvious from day one that these guys were going to do this for a second match after their first match. I'm sure the Velocities will win this match after they went to a time limit draw with tag team champions Sunshine Machine. So I pretty much expected this. I'm disappointed a little bit. I'm losing you, Dan.
Following the collapse of their friendship during the Great British Tag League.
I'm only getting every other word at the moment, Dan. Bear with us, folks. I'm sure Dan will be right. We're back. I'm sure. There you are, I think.
He is right back, but he is going to change his connection, see if it helps. So bear with me. You go for your next bit of news, and I shall be with you by the end.
And following the collapse of their friendship during the Great British Tag League, Yota Tsuji will be facing Shota Umino in, again, something that was pretty obvious from the get-go. I would have liked to have seen Shota go heel. He looked like he was embracing it, and it looked like he was about to turn heel and they were both going to do it together. But no, they've gone for the more traditional So Jetta.
How could Shota go heel with that beautiful hair?
I know he is a fantastic face, and he's John Moxley's boy or whatever. But it just feels to me. I think putting him making him heel, I think it would have added a little extra depth to the character that we haven't quite seen yet from. So I'm sure it's going to be a brilliant match.
I think they need to keep him face for our next piece of news.
Yes, finally, Pac has been announced that he will once again be. He'll be at Summer Sizzler. We hope he will once again be defending that AEW All Atlantic Championship after facing Shota Umino yesterday, as we're recording today, and he won. Of course, he defended his championship. Apparently, it was a good match. So,
and it also means that Rev Pro is going to be shown on Dynamite, and the whole match is going to be shown on Rampage, I believe.
Yeah, apparently, no. The whole match will be on Dark on their YouTube, and then apparently highlights for Dynamite itself. So it will be interesting to see if that is the case. As I say, it's great. I know we're not going to have a British Heavyweight Championship match at Summer Sizzler, and there will be no Will Ospreay because he's busy in the G1 right now over in Japan. Probably should have done something about him in the G1 in Japan. Maybe we'll have to. But yeah, he's in the G1 in Japan, and so Zack Sabre Jr. And because of that, neither of them will be available for the next few weeks. As such, there will be no British Heavyweight Championship match at Summer Sizzler, but that's not too bad. They've got Pac. It's a good replacement.
It's a pretty damn fine replacement.
It's a pretty damn fine. Yeah, exactly. I can't complain too much. I really look forward to seeing Pac live and in person. And our friend Mark, who recently kind of joined our team and writes over with Bodyslam.net with myself, he is going to be at an OTT show, and Pac will be defending his All Atlantic Championship at that show. That is a Poetry Slam on July 22nd. Aussie Open will also be defending the OTT Tag Team Championships as they fend off the challenges of the Velocities, believe it or not, and the Kings of the North. So it should be an interesting triple threat tag team match.
It should be an awesome triple threat tag team match. And have you seen who Pac is going to be defending against at OTT?
The OTD young ace, if you like, Mr. LJ Cleary. Kind of like...
It's going to be great.
He's a phenomenal talent. He will push Pac to the limit. It will be a fantastic match, as will the tag team matches. I do fear for the Velocities going up against the rough and rugged Kings of the North because, as I mentioned before, they're not the biggest of tag teams, and
they're going to get eaten alive.
Kings of the North are.
Yes, they are.
It should be a fantastic match, and we look forward to it. News coming out of Pro Wrestling Eve. It will be their biggest night of the year soon. It'll be Wrestle Queendom, which is on the 13th of November. Recent She-Won winner of the Pro Wrestling Eve, Alex Windsor, of course, will be in action, possibly against Laura Di Matteo for the International Championship. Laura Di Matteo.
We love Laura Di Matteo. She's awesome.
And I'm going to go, Hyper Mizawa. Hyper Mizawa is coming to Pro Wrestling Eve and the, what did I call it? Wrestle Queendom. Tokyo Joshi Pro talent Hyper Mizawa. She has a superhero gimmick.
Cool.
She's quite popular over there. I'm sure she'll resonate well with the Pro Wrestling Eve talents that have taken to the likes of Maki Ito and Shoko Nakajima. So there's a lot of character work to her. She is a very good wrestler as well.
Yeah. Let's talk again about one of my favourite female wrestlers, Laura Di Matteo.
Laura Di Matteo. She is also one of my favourites. She is real as it gets, and she will be challenging Kanji for the Progress Women's Championship at 24/7 on the 24th of July.
That's going to be a great match.
Yeah, it should be. They squared off before when they had the no crowd era, the Peckham era. So this will be their first match in front of the live crowd for Progress. Two phenomenal, amazing female talents, and should be an absolutely cracking match.
Definitely. There's another cracking
we will
match.
have someone there for 24/7 as well. So keep a lookout for special preview episode and special review episodes coming soon.
We've also got Swerve Strickland facing Nick Wayne as the two AEW stars collide for the second time this year, the first time in the UK.
Yeah, of course, because it was Defy in Canada. They had a match against each other and he was the one that, or Darby came down after the match and gave him the contract, or Swerve gave him the contract, or somebody gave him a contract after that after that Defy wrestling match with Swerve Strickland. I was told it was a banging match, so Progress are in for a banging match, and it's a great announcement.
Finally, Tom Dawkins will also be in action for the first time since being stripped of the Cara Noir personality, mask and everything else, as he faces a gentleman that I watched this weekend, LK Messinger.
Yep. Don't forget, he's not allowed to perform the package pile driver, Madam Guillotines, Swan Brew, or any of the... He's just got to be Tom Dawkins. So does look like an interesting... I have loved the story going forward with this. And should be a good match. Be interesting to see, because it's been so long that he's been Cara Noir now. It's going to be really interesting to see him not as Noir anymore, but Noir everywhere else.
Yeah, which kind of... Yeah, we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah. If you want us to do a deep dive into things like that, leave us a message in the comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe and all that other YouTube crap.
Yeah, you can hear me whinge. The tag titles will be on the line as Sunshine Machine defend their newly won championships against Leon Slater and a partner of his choosing, seeing as Jody Fleisch, who was due to be his partner, is not able to progress due to injury. Much love going out to Jody Fleisch.
Indeed. And of course, men like Darice and
Dan
Maloney are both in the Thunder Bastard match, so they're obviously unavailable as well for it. So who will be his partner? It's an interesting one.
Is that Big Wavy?
Big Wavy? Yeah. 870. Not 0121. Different area codes. It's just an interesting one. I would be looking forward to see who ends up being his partner. Before that, after that, of course, the Deadly Viper Tour kicking off soon. Copperhead and Cottonmouth in Sheffield and Newcastle on the 13th and 14th, respectively. That is August. Pro Wrestling Noah Junior Heavyweight Champion Hayata will also be in action at both shows. Looking forward to that. Of course, he's going to be down here with Russell Carnival the week before, which of course means he's going to be available. I'm going to be seeing him at both shows. Woo me!
And the match that I'm very excited for, and I'm sure you are absolutely dribbling over.
I am, but it's not. I'm not at that show. I'm at the next show.
Yeah, but you'll be able to watch it on.
I'll be able to watch it on demand, on the Progress on Demand or WWE Network. But Jesus Christ, yes, Kenosuke Takeshita will be taking on Robbie X in his debut match, and that will be at the Copperhead on the 13th of August, which is Sheffield show. He will be facing Dean Allmark on the 14th of August. So I'm really looking forward to that one. And I've noticed Hayata has been announced for a match with Dean Allmark at Copperhead. So I'm hoping I'm going to get Robbie X versus Hayata at Cottonmouth, because I will absolutely be like drooling out my mouth if they announce that. So please do announce that.
Fingers crossed for you.
Fingers crossed, yeah.
Insane championship wrestling.
Go on, go insane.
All the championships, all of them will be on the line when ICW comes to Wales for What's Occurring. We already know that Grado will challenge Kes Evans for the ICW Heavyweight Championship, but who will challenge Molly Spartan, the Kings of the North, and Dylan Thorne for the Women's Championships, Tag Team Championships, and Zero Chi Championship, respectively? Gia Adams and Clint Margera have been announced for ICW's return to Newcastle on the 23rd of October as well. All exciting news out of ICW.
When's the 23rd of October?
It's after the 22nd.
It's a Sunday. Might go to that one. Who knows?
ICW coming to the UK. Good grief.
Yeah, it'll be their first time back in the UK since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
So I expect it to be a big show. So yeah, I'm going to probably do my best. I know I'll be in Germany at the beginning of the October, but maybe if I can squeeze it, it's Newcastle. If I can do it without having to get a hotel, I might do an ICW show.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
A show that you are going to be doing, though, is TNT, is it not?
Yes, I will be at the TNT Project X on the 21st, which looks absolutely fantastic. Just Cruiserweight Championship, Ultimate X coming to the UK. Scotty Too Hotty versus Gene Money, and so much more. It just looks it's all good, I guess.
We've got news from the Weekender as well. Ali Catch will be joining her busy partner Effie at TNT Extreme Supreme Extreme as part of the TNT GCW weekend of September 15th to 17th. And Ali Catch will be taking on Session at Moth Martina on the 15th of September.
I do believe it is Boosie.
Bussy.
No, Boosie.
Boosie.
Boosie as in...
Boosie. As in something that young people say that we're too old to understand.
I've heard this term before. Have you not heard this term before?
No, mate, I'm fucking ancient.
We're not monetized yet, so I can probably tell you. It basically means butt pussy.
Ah, right.
Yes.
We're definitely not monetized yet.
We're definitely not monetized yet, and it's a good thing. Sorry, Kath, if you're listening, or James, or any of our editors who don't want us saying such words on the TV, but on the internet. TV, my ass. I wish we were on TV. I think somebody should come give us a weekly wrestling show for the UK. Channel 4 Vice and pitching out here, weekly roundup of the British wrestling scene. We can talk to guys. We can probably get clips. So,
I think it could be definitely done.
Or BBC Radio. Maybe you want an hour of British wrestling. Who knows? Pitching ideas here. Also, we're looking for new sponsors.
Yes.
So there. Kip Sabian, AEW's Kip Sabian, who recently made his return to Wrestling Ring in the UK. He faced Robbie X for British Wrestling Revolution. I have reviewed that show and I will tell you about it very shortly. But for now, he also turned up at World Association Wrestling, WAW, famously run by, of course, the Knight family, Page's family, Ricky Knight Jr.'s family, Ricky Knight Sr., of course, Zack Zodiac, and many more incredible stars that have come from the WWAW Academy. So they've done so much for British wrestling. And so Kip Sabian used to team with a guy called Brad Shepherd. And obviously, they probably split at some point. And he said, I'm back and I'm going to take you on. Which is very similar to what he did at BWR when he came back to challenge Robbie X, his former tag team partner, friend, who turned rival.
Yeah. Good storytelling.
Good storytelling, yes. Yeah, look, it's wrestling. Things like this happen. I I think some people need to get their panties out their bums about things like this in wrestling, and that includes me.
We'll discuss that later as well with the show that I went to see. New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, you're a big New Japan fan. You take this one.
Go on, New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have stated that they will be looking to make a return to the UK sometime soon. This was during one of these press conference, how we're doing, what we're doing in the near future. You know, lots of announcements regarding New Japan, but the only one we would be interested in is the fact that they are planning to return to the UK at some time. They are also planning to be going back to the US, and they plan to do that alongside Stardom. So they'll have Stardom matches on the New Japan sort of like tour card. So really hopeful that they do the same if they come to the UK, that they bring Stardom with them, because there are so many incredible talents from Stardom. I would love to see Natsupoi and just Tam. Yeah, Cosmic Angels. I love the Cosmic Angels. But I'd also love to see DDM right now. Donna Del Mondo. Julia is a phenomenal talent. Sayuri is just so good. I don't have my Stardom subscription anymore because I needed to cut some things back, and I need to concentrate on the UK scene more than I do on Japan. So I typically only have I do have Wrestle Universe at the moment. That's mainly because of people like Chris Brooks and Chris Ridgway are going to be out there, and of course the TJPW, where we have Rio recently, and now it's Windsor. But I really look forward to New Japan coming back to it. I'm gonna, if they do, I will be at a show. I will make it somehow. I do not care. Would you be going to a show if New Japan put on a show?
I don't know is the honest answer. I know this is going to sound really shitty. It will probably depend a lot on pricing of tickets.
That is very, very fair. Because, you know, we'd love to go to the WWE shows when they come to the UK, but it's £33 for a nosebleed ticket.
Yeah.
I think you can go to NXT UK for free. You got to keep an eye out for that.
If you can get a ticket.
If you can get a ticket, got to keep an eye out on that. And then if you get, it's on a Wednesday or Thursday, so hotels won't be too bad price wise. So that's probably doable for me. But yeah, I do see the point. I must admit, the Manchester shows for Rev Pro UK, you know, a lot of money for back row seats.
Yeah.
You know, I paid what I've paid for a couple of front row seats to sit at the back. But of course, you know, it's going to be an excellent show. I'm going to be in the area, so I thought bugger it. But yeah, New Japan, I mean, if they do something with Rev Pro UK, of course, shared show, and it's just a normal Rev Pro UK price show, yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'll be all over that.
Yeah, but if they come here with WES prices or WWE prices, then yeah, I might get a nosebleed ticket for 50 quid.
I'd struggle because I don't follow the New Japan storylines. So I'd literally be going for the matches that are there on the day. I don't know the talent that well. So if they're doing a crossover with Rev Pro, then yes, definitely. But yeah, we shall see what happens. Although saying that, if they hold it at the Copper Box Arena, which they have done before, I would love to go to that venue.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's talk about some reviews from this week. You've been teasing it a lot. You've been saying them. Would you like to give us your review of Wet Cake Pro Wrestling, please?
It was amazing. It was ridiculous. It was stupid. It was fun. That is the word to take away from it. It was fun. My wonderful wife Amy came along with me as well. She thoroughly enjoyed the show. We started off with the Ultimate Sacrifice Championship. A few Sacrifice belts are on the line because they are the sister promotion. The first match, because this is Wet Cake's first official show. They did have their show in Wakanda before, but this is their first official show in the world. But their first opponents weren't necessarily from this world, because we had Truman Roswell versus Stone Cold ET. I think I put a video up. You can check out how Stone Cold ET looked. He was indeed ET in a full Stone Cold outfit. He had glowing middle fingers in a true ET way. He did give Truman Roswell a probing at one point. And then there were beers thrown into the ring as well. Truman won. He kept his belt, but afterwards he did eat a stunner from Stone Cold ET. It was ridiculous. It was fun. One of my wife's favourite parts was where Stone Cold ET came in and did the middle fingers from all four corners, bearing in mind that two corners were up against the wall with nobody there. So yes, that went down well. We then had Skillet Club, the cookery wrestlers, versus the Jingle Boys. Now, originally this was going to be the lads, but it was the Jingle Boys, which was Alex Echo and our goth daddy Xander in full Christmas regalia. There was a slam on Christmas baubles, not in the way you're thinking, but there was also a slam to Christmas baubles in exactly the way you're thinking. It was a ridiculous comedy match. It was a lot of fun, and everyone thoroughly enjoyed it. We then went on with Skillet Brothers winning by total elimination. We then had our one wrestling match of the show. Tommy Kyle took on Elijah in the Ticking Time Bomb Championship. Ticking Time Bomb works, you have 10 minutes to pin the champion. That's how long you have to win your match. And the loser has to fuck off for a bit. And Tommy Kyle and Elijah had a proper wrestling match for 10 minutes. Really good, really fast. First time I've seen Elijah live. He's brilliant. Seen Tommy Kyle a number of times, and he is great. In fact, he came over and said hello in the interval. Really lovely guy. In the end, Tommy Kyle did win, and Elijah had to fuck off for a bit. It was a beautiful scene where he took his boots off in the middle of the ring when all the members of the roster came out around the ring. One of his boots, however, was tied up a little bit too tight, so he left one boot in the ring, which was left in the ring for all of intermission for fans to take their photo with the boot. We then went on to our next match, which was the Monet in the Bank match. There was a safe with the Monet in it, and you had to get the number called out every 2 minutes. And then when all the numbers had been called out, the winner was the person that opened the safe and got the painting. Taking part were Memes, Mia Cortez, Pope Tony Sin, Adonis Cena. Adonis Payne has currently lost his name, so is using somebody else's. So he came out in full John Cena regalia to John Cena's music. And every 2 minutes, as I said, we had a number called out. There was solid chance of "This is art." It was, again, very good fun. Mia Cortez has 2 dragon masks that are both telling her to do different things. She was getting very confused by this. She brought a chair into the ring and battered Memes with it. Mia was over like Rover, very, very popular. In the end, however, it was Memes that won and got his art. We then had a seminar in the ring with Adventures in Boulderama, Splits McPin and LK Messenger, doing a seminar teaching Hustle Malone, Jack Nardson and Benjamin Harland and Clara how to wrestle. This went on a little bit long, possibly. They were taught how to do forward rolls, how to do backward rolls, how to do bumps, how to do sunset flips. And then everything broke down and we ended up having a wrestling match with Hustle Malone and Splits McPins and LK Messenger versus Nudson Harland and Klarna. It was, again, very funny. They used the moves that they've been taught. And in the end, it was, of course, Splits McPins getting the win. It was very fun. Main event championship time. Kai Payne versus The Bridge. Now, I was interested to see how Kai Payne was going to take on a bridge. The bridge is a wrestler who is conjoined twins, or possibly two wrestlers sellotaped together, as Clarence and DJ Hyde, who kept going, bridge! And everyone shouted bridge, and they were universally loved. And Kai Payne did, in the end, get the win. There was a brilliant chant. I'm getting messages from my wife reminding me of the fantastic pay a toll, pay a toll. It was just ridiculous, utterly ridiculous and wonderful and fun. And we had an absolutely great time. We then had a beatdown at the end, but out for the save came Penguin, a giant penguin. It was Hustle Malone in a penguin suit, but it was a giant penguin. Out came a stormtrooper who fell over and his mask broke. Could we imagine such a thing ever happening in wrestling before? That was Tommy Kyle. Raymond Mysterious came out. Baby Brock Lesnar came out. Newt motherfucker was chanted. Baby Brock Lesnar came out and beat down everybody, hitting F5s absolutely everywhere, until the long-awaited return of Elijah. Having fucked off for a bit, he came back and saved Wet Cake Pro Wrestling. And you will see a wonderful photo on our Twitter stream of Elijah being lifted up by the crew, and everyone looks so happy in it. It's a very loved photo that has gone out and been shared. Wet Cake Pro Wrestling, thank you for a wonderful evening of entertainment. We had an absolutely brilliant time. Stephen Southern was there. Friend of the show, Dan Williams, was there. I think I can safely speak for everyone when I say I would give it a combination of 0 stars and 5 stars. Definitely 5 stars for the entertainment.
Yeah, it sounds to me like a good show that will be fun to watch live.
It was great. It was, you know, the film Baywatch?
Mm-hmm.
You know how everyone says, oh, it's absolutely awful, but oh, it's absolutely brilliant. It was exactly that. It was absolutely brilliant, and I loved it.
It's something different is a huge point to that as well. It's something creative, and it shows that these wrestlers can promote something else than what you usually see in them as, and it helps them to expand their own game, to be honest, to do something out of the park rather than remain inside the circle at all times.
Yeah,
like I would like
see
it.
The initials WCPW going on strong.
Yes, indeed. I think right now we should send you to Mr. Stephen Southern, the tribal chief of the Big Fat Geeks, and he's going to do his review of Wrestle Carnival's Ringmasters. We hope you enjoy.
Hello, and welcome to my portion of the show. So this weekend I've been to 2 wrestling shows and a Comic-Con in the middle. Friday night went to Wet Cake Pro Wrestling, which I'm sure Dan has either covered or is going to cover shortly on today's podcast. I just want to give my little bit towards it because I thought it was a fantastic show. Really, really, really good fun. We've recently been going through quite a bit at home. My wife has been diagnosed with bowel cancer, and she's been in hospital having tumor removed and stuff, and now we're in the midst of the fight against it. So this was a chance for me to go out and let my hair down. I was invited along by a guy called Dan Williams. Good guy, he's on Twitter. We've met through wrestling, nice bloke. And he had a spare ticket going, and he asked if I wanted to go. And it's fantastic. What was it called? It was called Hog Swinging Boot something or other. But all I know, fantastic show. It's so funny. Comedy wrestling at its finest. I laughed from start to finish. Brilliant, well needed fun. Then, so after that, today I have been to something completely different. The vibe, you couldn't get more different between the two. Went to Wrestle Carnival, Ringmasters. Fantastic show. Really, really good show today. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I say today because I'm recording this at 11:30. Just got back from Coventry. Want to get it all out before I go to bed, and my mind gets wiped and I forget it all. Anyway, got my notes, so let's go. First match was the first championship match we were going to get of the night, and it was between Crowley versus Scotty 2 Hotty, and the winner would go on to face Axel Tischer later on in the main event for a second championship match. As always, the crowd gave lots of abuse to the twat, Mr. Crowley, including calling in Kevin Webster, which I just thought was brilliant and never expected to be part of a crowd chanting Kevin Webster to a wrestling match. Scotty 2 Hotty came out, dancing away to the Too Cool music, bringing back fantastic vibes. This is the second WWE legend I've seen in a month after seeing Tajiri at Superstar Showdown for UBW. What was I going to say? So, yeah. So, Scotty gave it his all, really interacting with the crowd, getting on a chair, hyping us up, telling us to sing, get going. Got the mic, sat down with some fans, encouraged them to start more chants about Crowley being a twat. Brilliant, fantastic guy, really, really good to get the crowd going. This went on for quite a while. Then the match itself finally started, and it was over fairly quickly. To be fair, the match could have gone a bit longer. And Scotty 2 Hotty didn't pull off the worm. Crowley stopped him, and then he went and won with an illegal pin using the ropes. To get the 1, 2, 3, which usually I'm Crowley's #1 fan, and I'll forgive most things, but for this utter twattery, I couldn't forgive. To come this far to see the worm and not see it, wasn't impressed. Axel came out afterwards, gave a quick stare down, getting ready for the main event later on. Second match was Becca versus Alana Austin, and the winner was to be added to the women's title match. Now, I thought they meant that day because they were crowning the interim champion that day. But there wasn't. She wasn't. The winner didn't turn up in that one. So I'm guessing that's at the first anniversary show. I'm not so sure. I can't remember, and I didn't hear. So, whoops. But anyway, this match was a so-so match. Nothing special, to be fair. It wasn't bad. Just it was there. And Becca won, so she's going to be added to the women's title match. Next, we had the Carnival Scramble, and that was between Big Guns Joe, hometown hero George Lydon, Jim Diehard, and Tommy Kyle. So obviously, hometown hero George Lydon had a massive fan base there. Never seen the guy before. Very good high flyer. Like I say, hometown heroes welcome. Everybody's screaming, shouting his name. And it was the best match so far of the night. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So you had two high flyers in Tommy Kyle and George Lydon. Tommy Kyle being the guy that I wanted to win, as he's a local wrestler for me. You know, I've seen him quite a bit in UBW. We've had him a friend of the show. So yeah, I was rooting for him, and so you had those two high flyers, and then Big Guns Joe and Jim Diehard were the big men slapping meat, and they did well. Good power game, good high flying game. Three guys, Jim Diehard was massive, and all three guys took turns to try and take him out and team up and take him out. Yeah, good match all round, and George Lydon won, being from Coventry, clearly going to win. Anyway, very good match. The next match was a Carnival Prospect match. This was between Ava and Lucia Lee. This was, as promised, it was a good match, but it was cut short due to potential injury to Lucia Lee. And it's a shame. Like I say, it was going well. You had Ava working the crowd with the usual shtick of saying Coventry sucked and was nasty and smelly and all of this lot. I agreed with her. Sorry, Coventry, you're a lovely city. Only joking. But then Lucia Lee went for a move, a suicide dive between the ropes, and she brushed either torso or leg or something, but she hit the rope and didn't follow through and land into Ava. She sort of came down, hit the apron, and then hit the concrete floor because it was concrete. The crowd just deathly silent. So we're all very worried for her. She then sort of gingerly got up, rolled into the ring, and then Ava had a quick roll up, 1, 2, 3, match was over. Obviously, wasn't supposed to finish like that. And it's a shame because the girls were starting to get somewhere with this match. It was building, it was getting there, but unfortunately called short. She was seen later on out at the stage at the end of the show, so she appeared well. I think it was just a precaution of possible concussion, but she looked good, and I hope she is well. And gets back in the ring soon because it'd be good to see her in a full match. Next up was a man like Darice versus Eric Young, with the winner taking on the champion at the first anniversary show. Fantastic match. Man like Darice came out, the usual hype in the crowd, singing his song, loving it. Eric Young came out, was very violent. He had good supporters there, a lot of TNA people giving him a shout, a lot of people giving him abuse as well, calling him a jobber. Good all-round match. And man like Darice won with a 550 splash. Well deserved. He's carrying places, old man like Darice. I think I've got a feeling at the 1 year anniversary show, my money's on Darice taking the title from Crowley. Oh, spoilers. Sorry. Yeah, Crowley retained at the end as well. But we'll get there. Next match. This is the match of the night. Leon Slater versus Robbie X. These two were they're made out of rubber. They're bouncing, they're flying, they're flipping. All manners of flippy shit going on here. Very, very good. And also, I must say, top marks for Robbie X. There was an incident with the crowd. Someone got involved and was calling Robbie X a jobber. Robbie X got out and had a bit of banter with him, and it was all good. That was fine. And then he got back in the crowd, and someone on the other side, I couldn't see who it was, said something inappropriate. And Robbie X straight away got up onto the ropes and said, no, mate, that's not on. Stop that. Don't mean to make it awkward, but I don't care. You don't say this. Like I say, I didn't hear what he said, but he stopped it. And straight away, to be confronted like that, put that man in his place, and they were done. And very good. But back to the match, like I say, fantastic match. I mean, Leon Slater, again, guy I've not seen before, 17 years old. He's affiliated with man like Darice, the 0121, and 17. He's got so much to come. He's really good. He's up there with the CPF, the young guys that do stuff and you just can't believe. Honestly, when they say fight forever, this I could have watched forever. It was that good. But it had to finish, and Robbie X picked up the win. But Slater, 5-star performance from Slater. 5-star performance from Robbie X. Like I say, best match of the night. Next up was the interim Queen of the Carnival match between Jetta and Charlie Morgan. Now, this had the unfortunate... it was unfortunate it had to follow such a good match with all the high speed and the flippy. To then go into this, it was a bit of a slow come down, but they still put on a good show, put on a brilliant match. Jetta was, she shook Charlie's hand and then turned her back, and Charlie went to go for a super kick, and Jetta turned around and caught her, and all the cheeky girl, all this like that was it, cheeky Charlie. So I've got a feeling that's going to be her name from now on, like the twat, how he got his. Fun match. Both ladies deserved to win this. They did very, very well. But in the end, it was Jetta that ended up winning it. And that was after she got busted open again. I think her nose was hit and the blood and everything. Very good, though. look through it. Then was the Pure Championship match to crown the first ever Pure Champion. Now, me and Andy have been having a few discussions about Chris Ridgway and his style of wrestling. Now, I like technical wrestling, but there comes a point when there's so many times you can watch two guys do reversal, 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 sub reversal, sub reversal. You know, it just gets to the point you're like, just do something else. And this was far from that. So we had Emerson Jane versus Chris Ridgway, and yeah, they put on an absolute clinic. And this is how technical wrestling should be. I thoroughly enjoyed this, and so did my son. I mean, that's got to be a good, gauge of it, because he's a young 11-year-old with ADHD who, he can't watch the slow build and that sort of thing that goes on with technical wrestling. It gets to him, it gets boring. But this one, he said it was his match of the night. He enjoyed it, loved it. And I will say, yeah, second best match of the night. Hard kicks, slaps, painful looking submissions. It had it all. Really, really good. And like I said, it was a slow build, but the payoff was fantastic. And this is the first match I've seen under pure rules, to be fair. I've never really seen much Ring of Honor. So to see a pure rules match was good. And Ridgway won and continues his collection of belts that he's now got. Now he's been crowned the first ever Wrestle Carnival Pure Champion. So then that left us for the main event of Axel Tischer versus Crowley. Axel came out first. They were all turned to the stage waiting for Crowley. His music starts, no sign of him. That sneaky twat come around the back and jumped to Tischer. It wasn't a lot that I could remember from this match, to be fair. It was a good match, but what happened afterwards is what made the night. It was fantastic for me. But I say, I can't remember much. It wasn't like it was a bad match. It was a good match. I was enjoying it, but there was stuff going on. And then Crowley ended up winning. He made Tischer tap with the Mandible Claw. And then after the match, man like Darice comes out, squares up to Crowley. Crowley attacks him, and then out of the back for the save comes Scotty Too Hotty. And this was amazing. So obviously we didn't get the worm earlier, and then we did. Because he knocked him down. WORM. Yep. Brilliant. The payoff was fantastic to get that. And then he chased him off. And off Crowley ran. And that was that. And Scotty gave a little bit of a speech saying, how he's loved his career and this is his best part of his career. He's having so much fun. He got that itch and he wanted to go back out and fight. And now he's traveling the world, going to these promotions and just having fun with the crowd. And then he said, this is thank you from the legends of the past like myself. And he said, and then to the guys of the future, like man like Darice, and he's the future. And he said, right, now we've got to do something. They got in a line. Jetta and Charlie Morgan come out. They joined them. They all got in a line. Music started. The heads went down. They danced away to Too Cool's music, each taking it in turns, putting the glasses on. And then they're in the middle of their freestyling a bit. Oh, and Scotty Too Hot's son come out, Keegan. He come out and had a little boogie down with his dad. And then, all of a sudden, Axeman gets back in the ring and everybody's like, oh, shit. They stop, they're looking at him. He's like, oh. He goes, no. And he points to the glasses. That was it. Scotty Too Hot, he puts the glasses on him and and then he's banging it. Yeah, that's what you're getting from me. Yeah, brilliant. Such a good end to the show. Everyone dancing to Too Cool, and there I was, 16 years old again. Too Cool dancing. It was brilliant, fantastic, loved it. So yeah, good show. Obviously there's a few hiccups, and like I said, I hope that Lucia Lee, she's all good. Yeah, but it's a 4 sugar show for me. Anyway, thank you very much. Make sure you come and find me again and my new partner in crime, James O'Connell, as we present the Monday Night Brew. Come and have a cuppa with us as we talk wrestling, geeky stuff. We'll be covering Comic-Con that we went to whilst watching the Tea and Tights E-Fed I've set up on my PlayStation 5. So come join us on Twitch tomorrow night at 9 for Monday Night Brew.
There we go. That was Mr. Steven Sounders roundup on Wrestle Carnival's Ringmasters. He did text us one thing that he wanted us to say that he forgot to mention during his review, which was something about the venue.
He said how amazing it is to have a wrestling show at a music venue and how he particularly enjoyed that with the amazing sound system and the atmosphere. It gave it a real good feeling.
Yeah, the Coventry venue is brilliant. It had a good stage and sound system was epic. I much prefer the feel of music venues to sports halls. I kind of agree. From the pictures that I saw, I felt it did seem to add something different. I know they have announced a new show in Coventry. We'll cover that next week because we've just got so much more to go through as we're doing this. I will do the roundup of ICW Fight Club, available on the WWE Network, which was this past Saturday. It was released, which was on the 9th. Right, where are we? It started off with Ian Skinner and Charles Weiss having to face each other with Ravy Davey as the referee because they lost that match. So Ravy Davey got to choose their match at Shug's house party, so they didn't actually have to go through with this match. He tricked them. It was quite funny. It was a bit silly to begin with, but you really got to see how flexible Ian Skinner and Charles Weiss are when it comes to their wrestling skills. Both are phenomenally talented. It was okay by the end of it. As I say, I wasn't big at the beginning, but I kind of grew into it a little bit. And when they finally then tried to turn on Ravy Davey and then Ravy Davey, it was okay. That's it. Luke Cairo defeated Theo Doris. Solid match. Two top young talents. Moxie Malone defeated Harley Hudson. Really impressed by Malone. Hudson had a decent debut. Mark Haskins defeated Stevie James. Good match. Didn't push for that second gear, but I guess they're saving that for their match at Shug's House Party, because after this match, it got announced that they will face each other in a 2 out of 3 falls match. There was also a couple of backstage segments dedicated to this whole angle between Jason Reed and Andy Wilde and Coach Trips. So obviously Coach Tripp told Jason Reed that he got him a match at Shug's house party, and then he was like, "Oh, brilliant! Who against?" And he's like, "Andy Wilde," and he was like, and so that kind of annoyed Jason Reed. Then later in the show, Andy Wilde came up and had to go, "Why are you doing this?" Overall, I'm going to give this 3 sugars. It was a decent TV episode.
Cool.
There we go.
Shall I do NXT UK?
I would love you to do NXT UK.
We started off with Tiger Turan versus Kenny Williams, a match that has been built up for months and didn't feel like it. There was a real lack of emotion in this match, and I've been saying to you how excited I was for it and how I thought this was going to be really good. And again, it's much like your comment just now about the match waiting to find second gear, and it didn't. In the end, Turan won with a small package. Kenny Williams took off his mask. He had a second mask on. Kenny Williams took off his mask. He had a third mask on. We never got to see who Tiger Turan is. We then had a video of the NXT UK Champions, the 2 American guys whose names I can't even remember. The only upside to this is Pretty Deadly came and told them that they don't deserve to have UK NXT.
Yeah, I like that.
So hopefully Pretty Deadly will win them and come back.
Bloody well should, because Pretty Deadly are basically the best tag team in the world right now. And Yank 1 and Yank 2 couldn't lace their boots in a wrestling academy. So
I'm not even going to argue with that.
There you go. I'm still pissed off that they're pushing all this American talent over UK talent. I mean, it's not surprising, but
well, we have a surprise coming up.
Yeah.
Trent Seven then gets called out by Sam Gradwell after last week's activities.
Come on, Sam.
He's out. Oliver Carter is then interrupted by De Familia. He turns them down and gets told that Tearman will hurt him. Tearman versus Oliver Carter in a match. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Mm.
Josh Morrell then took on Primate. Josh Morrell looked awesome, was waiting for Primate to get the usual pin on Morrell. And then Morrell hit a like half Canadian destroyer and won.
Yeah, I was as this kicked off, I was thinking to myself, oh, why are they going to have Rampage beat Josh Morrell? Because Primate, because you know, for me, Josh Morrell, there's more upside to him than there is Primate. No offense, Primate's fantastic; he's a great veteran. But when it comes to NXT UK and the wider scale of things, Josh Morrell's got more upside to him. He's younger, he's super talented, and yeah, they did a 1-2-3 kid.
I was surprised and happy, genuinely happy.
I was ecstatic. So yes, well done NXT UK. Hey.
Blair Davenport arrives and bumps into Amel in the car park and threatens her. Stevie Turner then comes out and tries to explain to Amel how she just insulted her. And Amel loses her temper and challenges Stevie Turner. So if this means you get Stevie Turner versus Amel, and then bless her, poor Stevie's going to lose, and Stevie Turner versus Amel versus Davenport, I'm happy with both those matches.
Yeah, I do see, you know, I'm just going to say it. I know she didn't square up to Davenport, though.
No.
So, yeah.
No.
Picking her battles.
Ilya Dragunov then did a video in case we've forgotten who he was, seeing as he's not been around that much.
Have you heard the latest news on this, though?
Yes, I have, and we're not going to talk about it because that's not the kind of show we are.
I guess so.
You can argue that with me, but I don't want to ruin things.
I guess so.
He is going to take on Wolfgang. Yay! Wolfgang deserves a title match, so yeah.
He deserves a title match.
Tate Mayfair's friend of the show was then taking on Trent Seven, and Tate got battered. Really got battered. In the end, he got put in a figure 7, and Grabwell came out and made the save after Trent wouldn't break the figure 7. It will be Trent Seven versus Sam Gradwell, who is a nobody and a nothing, according to Trent. Noam Dar is a victim of his own success.
Yes.
He will be having a match against Mark Coffey next week. Soraya and Meiko Satomura then took on Eliza Alexander and Bratty Brookside.
Thank you.
I enjoyed this match. I enjoyed seeing Meiko Satomura get a little bit dirtier in the ring, which we've not really seen in NXT UK. Eliza Alexander is a standout. We knew this already. Now the whole world knows it. And Eliza Alexander, in my opinion, should be the person that takes the belt off Meiko Satomura. I can understand if it's Blair Davenport, but I think it should be Eliza Alexander. Scorpio Rising for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Do you know what thing I don't like about the Scorpion Rising finisher? Is the obvious setup for it.
Yeah, I get that, but the Stunner had an obvious setup as well.
Oh, yeah, but a boot to the gut. Yeah, a boot to the gut can happen at any time. But this, you know, they're literally like posting themselves, aren't they? It's I must admit, it's Speedball Mike Bailey, where anything that relies on your opponent being in a certain situation is not flowing with the match.
Funnily enough, William Regal was discussing something very similar on his podcast this week. Overall, I think it was a good episode this week, with the exception of the Tiger Turan and Kenny Williams. I'm going to give it 2.5. In fact, no, I'm going to give it 3 sugars.
Oh, well, I'm only going to give it 2.5 sugars. I'm keeping it. I like the Morel thing, but again, I feel like it feels like NXT UK is just treading water at the moment. and it's a worrying situation right now for me that they're just kind of treading water. I mean, when we lost, although I did hear LJ Cleary was training with them recently for 2 weeks, but when was the last time we started to see some new guys come in from the UK? Feels like it's been a while now since we've seen at least one on new, apart from Elijah Alexander, of course, but
Tate,
well, I mean, as non-enhancement talent. Sorry, Tate. Okay. No, you are the greatest professional wrestler on, and you deserve to be much better than enhancement talent on NXT UK. They should push Tate. But yeah, no, I'm going to give it 2.5 sugars. I'm also going to state that I'm loving the William Regal Gentleman Villains podcast. So
yeah, it's very good.
Well, I also watched Kamikaze Pro's 9th anniversary show. The show is available on Vimeo. I think it's £8 for the show. Of course, you have to keep it for the rest of your life. They don't have a sign-up scheme, unfortunately. So, right, it started off with Charles Crowley defeating Big Guns Joe. Charles Crowley was session twat because Session Moth Martina couldn't make it. He brought the session. Very entertaining. Good match. TK Cooper defeated Man Like Bino and Luke Douglas. Good match. TK Cooper really stood out. Good big win for him. Luke Douglas got the loudest pop from the crowd. Poor Man Like Bino came out to literally crickets. Poor lad. So he must be new to the Kamikaze audience, but it was a good match. MVK defeated Joseph Connors.
Who?
MVK. Valgabius. MVK is really impressive. He's got great athleticism for a big man. This was a good big man clash and a big win for MVK. Look to see good things in his future, in my opinion. Okay. Chris Ridgway then defeated young George Lydon, who's 17 years old, from the Kamikaze Pro Academy. And Ridgway just punished the young star. But, you know, Lydon kept fighting back, kept getting back up. And this got over huge with the crowd. And I realized if you want to get a young star over, just have Chris Ridgway basically kill him, but keep fighting back.
Well, basically, that's just any Chris Ridgway match.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, to be honest, I'm guaranteeing you both Gene Money and Warren Banks are going to be more over in progress after the kicking they got from Chris Ridgway on the Super Strong Self Final. It was so heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Kind of points out my comment and backs.
But you know what? He was a great it was a good match. It was. Yeah. The 0121 defeated the Experiment and Terror, which is Elijah and LK Messinger. Solid match featuring two great tag teams. The 0121 over so over. Surprise, surprise. Chuck Mambo versus Charlie Sterling in a no contest due to injury to Charlie Sterling. I think he pulled some hamstring or might have hurt his knee. I can't be precise. It was an impressive couple of minutes till the injury, though. And I'm probably thinking it probably would have been match of the night had it continued. Then it was a main event. Lana Austin. It was supposed to be Lana Austin versus Chantel Jordan, but Lana Austin said that they should have it for the women's championship match because the women's champion of Kamikaze hasn't been around for ages, so we need a new champion. To which Alexxis Falcon came out, and she basically said the same thing. And then Lucia Lee came out, and then she basically said the same thing. So they made it a fatal four-way for the women's championship. Lana Austin, it was elimination one as well. Lana Austin won. She eliminated Lucia Lee. Then Chantel Jordan eliminated Alexxis Falcon. And then Lana Austin eliminated Chantel Jordan. This was a huge win for Lana. It was absolutely fantastic and well-deserved. It was an impressive outing as well for Lucia Lee. Despite being the first person eliminated, she did impress. The support for Chantel, who had a really good outing, and Alexxis Falcon as a heel.
It's kind of Chantel's home promotion, isn't it?
Kind of is Chantel Jordan's home promotion, so I was surprised that Chantel didn't win. She is the relentless champion, though. There was also some post shenanigans with a Kamikaze Pro 24/7 title or something. Overall, free sugars. There were lots of good matches, but really just lacked that match that put it into great territory. It was hard pick for match of the night, which would have either gone to Chris Ridgway and George Lydon, but to be honest, I'm going to give it to MVK and Connors for the good athletic big man match.
Cool.
I then watched British Wrestling Revolution's fifth anniversary show, and this is available on BWR on demand, which is a monthly service. I think it is $6.49. I think it's a pivot share one or something, so you might want to change your pass, make a new email account, because I know pivot's annoying and something, but overall, but here we go. Scotty Rourke defeated Tom Farewell. A really good match between two fantastic young talents. Great post-match psych out from Farewell. And then we'll see this rivalry continue because he picked up the belt and then gave it to Scotty Rourke, but then kicked the crap out of him and took the belt back and walked off with the belt. So I enjoyed that. It was good. Really good match. Hard Man Dan versus Vucic. And Hardman Dan defeated Vucic. These are two young performers from the BWR Evo Academy. Vucic had a really intense look about him. I wasn't so much of a fan of Hardman Dan, but he was really big with the BWR faithful who seemed to love him. So solid enough match. Tonga versus defeated Gia Adams to become the new BWR Women's Champion. Really solid performances by both of these competitors. Probably the best Gia Adams match I've seen from her. This was also a great win for Tonga and probably one of her best matches as well that I've seen. You know, I'm sure they've had other great, but for me, this was probably two of their best matches that they've had. So really, really, Tonga and Gia Adams, this was great. I like this.
I like both of them.
Will Cruz then won the Anarchy briefcase match, which also featured man like Darice, Big Guns Joe, 2-Bit, Miles Kamen, and Riley Nova. It was supposed to have Powerhouse Blake, but Powerhouse Blake has got broken foot at the moment. So young Riley Nova took his place in the match. Of course,
no difference in them at all.
Of course, Powerhouse Blake did actually make himself known during the match and stop Big Guns Joe from winning the championship by tipping the ladder as he was going for it, and then he went through a table. In the end, to say, Will Cruz won. This was okay as six-man ladder matches go. They did not have any, spots that really made it stand out. These type of matches have just become so... These kind of matches are overdone so much nowadays, so they don't stand out. And unless there's something really, really, really insane, it's very difficult.
Briefcase was insane.
No, it's Anarchy.
Oh, my apologies.
But as I say, as these type of matches, I've just become so desensitized to them that it's just like, meh. Dora Diablo and Jimmy McKinley defeated second to none Nathan Cruz and Matt Myers to win the BWR Tag Team Championships. This was made for the live fans to be happy. It did already do it for me. Too long and way too overbooked. Kip Sabian defeated Robbie X. Excellent match. Not quite a 5-star match or a 5-star classic, but a really good, solid 4-star, 4 and a bit star match. Considering this was Kip Sabian's first match back in like 15 months since his shoulder injury, really impressive, incredibly famous. he looks in great shape. He looks bigger than he used to be. Looks like he's put on a bit of muscle. Of course, Robbie X is in the best shape of his life, putting on the best matches of his life. I want to see this again. I'd watch these two go at it anytime. So hopefully they'll do it again sometime soon. They said so in the thing. I believe they actually did do it the next day at Full Force Wrestling.
Ooh.
So just randomly they did that, and then obviously turned up on WAW. But then RKJ defeated Joseph Connors to become the new BWR heavyweight champion. I was really looking forward to this, as you can probably imagine. RKJ, Joseph Connors, thinking, oh, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. But honestly, I was less disappointed.
Really?
This was 15 minutes of a pre-match beatdown by Joseph Connors and Riley Nova, followed by under 5 minutes of an actual match that RKJ managed to reverse and then hit the avalanche power driver that he does. So I'm sorry, I overbooked. I don't know why they chose to go this way. Whether they were hiding something, maybe somebody had an injury, I don't know. Certainly not RKJ, because he did take a kick in. But as I say, you didn't get an actual match out of it, really. So I wouldn't have minded if they'd done 15 minutes beat down and 15 minutes of a match, but they didn't. It was 5 minutes. So for me, so overall, I'm going to give this show 3 sugars.
3 sugars.
Fair 3 sugars, because the women's championship match, Tom Farewell versus Scotty Rourke and Robbie X versus Kip Sabian, were all really good, solid, excellent matches. Overall, as I say, really disappointed with the main event. I'm sure this sent the crowd home happy, which it did, I believe. I would have preferred a proper match, though. Was always going to be hard to follow Robbie and Kip Sabian, but they didn't really help themselves. And a few good matches mixed with a few lackluster ones. 3 stars, 3 sugars.
Should we move on to our previews?
Yeah, why not? Let's tell the people what's coming up this week. What are our top picks for this coming week?
Thursday the 14th, No Mercy Wrestling's Out for Wrestling in Pembrokeshire. Nico Angelo versus Mike Hitchman. Billy Hayes versus Lucia Lee versus Scott Hooker versus Jason Joshua. JJ Roberts versus CJ Rawlings for the Pro Wrestling Carnage Heavyweight Championship match. And Scott Garland, stroke Scotty Too Hotty, BDK, RC Chaos.
Did you not stroke Scotty Too Hotty? Okay, speaking out happened. Leave wrestlers alone. Don't touch them.
Okay.
Just telling you, no stroking wrestlers. It's bad.
Okay. I did stroke Alex Echo's Flamingo, and you can see photographic evidence of that on our Twitter stream.
That's okay. I will allow it.
Thank you. Friday the 15th.
Good to see Mike Hitchman making an appearance on the UK wrestling scene. I know Chris Bevan of No Mercy. Of course, I did an interview with him a little while ago. Go check that out. It's available on our YouTube channel. I know he's a big fan of Hitchman. He talked about how much, guys like Mark Andrews, Hitchman, Flash did for the scene. So I know that's going to be, he's going to be really, really happy about that. But it looks set to be a pretty good show in a small town in Wales.
Yeah. Friday the 15th, we'll start off with Southwest Wrestling Girls of the Underground in Cheltenham, a 4-women tournament to crown the #1 contender for the Warriors Championship. Sky Smithson, Alex Windsor, Charlie Morgan, and Chantel Jordan, 4 of the best. LA Taylor will also take on Aluna Blue for the SWW Warriors Championship, and Nightshade will be in action.
Oh, yeah. Presenting women's wrestling as a serious thing. Love it. 4 incredible talents there to go through to tournament. Should be a great show.
Yes.
On to Saturday the 16th, where you can go check out Modern Nomad Pro Wrestling and the local Shindy Wrestling Company for Frankensteiner's Monster in Cardiff. Brendan White will be facing Kurt Atlas. Experiment in Polarama will be facing Lycos Jim, which is both Lycos's and Nico Angelo. Detective Money and Harrison Bennett versus Lee Hunter and Martin Kirby in the greatest tag team to ever been built. And Cara Noir will be in action. Not Tom Dawkins, Cara Noir.
Yes.
And something I'm really, really psyched about, in my personal opinion, Coliseum Pro Wrestling in London. in London, at the where is it?
It's at the Conway Hall in London.
Yes, and it looks like, I mean, it's a great card, one of the most unique cards I've seen in a long time, with matches I've not seen announced anywhere else before. So really excited for this. Kicking off with Doug Williams and Joel Redmond versus Leighton Buzzard and Theo Doris, two of the greatest British wrestlers versus two very incredibly talented young wrestlers, especially Theo Doris, who really likes that true pure wrestling style. Him and Doug and him and Joel and Leighton Buzzard. It's just going to be a great match.
Now, I've got to tell you, there has been a change in the lineup that was announced on Twitter 30 minutes ago.
Oh, what was that?
Unfortunately, Aurora Tevez has picked up an injury. So, Regina Rosenthal has been added to make a three-way match against Kira Chimera and Ronnie Knox.
Ooh, big addition. Regina Rosenthal, I believe she is the ROE Rings of Europe champion, a competitor coming out of Finland. She is a powerhouse wrestler. She'll add a very, very much unique dynamic to that match, but it should be a great match. The Kings of the North, Bonesaw and Damien Colvin, will be taking on D87, Roy Johnson, and Alexander Roth. This should be a fantastic tag team match. Again, not something I've seen before. I look forward to that one.
Yeah, no, that'll be a banger.
Two big boys.
Shreddy versus Yestin Reese in a battle of the A, incredibly talented wrestlers, and B, hotbots.
Yeah, these guys are jacked, stacked, and daddies. Of course, Yestin Reese is a long-time veteran. Shreddy is somewhat relatively new to the scene when compared to a career like Yestin Reese's. But yeah, two big jacked powerhouses are just gonna batter each other, I guess. Harley Hudson versus LA Taylor. That should be a really good match. I must admit, I have seen this match before, but still a fantastic match nonetheless.
It's just going to be great, and the final match on their debut show looks really special, doesn't it?
It does. You've got the fearless Charlie Morgan versus the Scandinavian Dragon, Alice Inc. Great matches. Honestly, I'm telling you, Alice Inc. is somebody I've got a lot of time for. She is one of the hottest talents coming out of the Scandi Nordic grap scenes. She's Swedish, she's got a kickboxing background, she's broken through in the UK on shows like Wrestle Island before, so it's great to see her getting more bookings in the UK, and a match against Charlie Morgan, who is one of the best talented female wrestlers in the UK right now. But most importantly, Coliseum Pro have announced their own set of rules. Believe it or not, there are rules in wrestling, and I like these rules. I'm sure not everybody will like these rules, but I love these rules. I really do. Of course, victory is earned by pinfall, submission, or KO. Simple. There will be no closed fist strikes. This isn't actually a new rule in wrestling. This is a rule in wrestling that's existed for a bloody long time. And the reason they actually decided to outlaw it is because they realized it's really hard to fake a punch.
Well, the thing is, in British wrestling back in the day, it was instant disqualification. In the round system, instant disqualification for a closed fist strike.
Yes, it would. And that regardless, because I know pure wrestling is like no fist strikes to the face, but you can do them to the body. Well, no, in British wrestling and in this one, there will be no closed fists at all. You'll have to use forearms and open palm strikes as traditional British wrestling actually wanted. There will also be no maneuvers that result in the opponent landing on their head. Again, this is something that comes from British wrestling rules. So you won't see brainbusters, DDTs, pedigrees, X Factors, any type of those type of moves. You'll still see power bombs, there's a slam, power slams. There's plenty of moves you can do that, I think what they're really trying to emphasize is wrestling.
Yep.
And grappling.
Which also means that there are no slams into the turnbuckles, and a rule that I think is actually quite good, which you might find weird for me saying that, but I like it. The use of weapons will result in indefinite suspension.
Indeed. I tell you what, though, you guys out there, you can witness the foundation of an empire. And if you want to go to this show, if you go to purchase your tickets, you'll notice promo, you can add a promo code. And if you add our promo code, T10, when purchasing your ticket, you'll actually be able to get 10% off your ticket price. And you'll possibly get to meet our live Twitch streaming team.
Because they are aiming to go along. It is TEA10 T10 to get 10% off your ticket to Coliseum, and do make the effort to go along. This card is stacked.
Yeah, so as this promo card right up right now, because you can't see us, you're seeing the promo code. It says Team 10 to get 10% TEA10. So
Sunday the 17th. No big shows. There are a few local small shows dotted around the country. Go and support local British wrestling, but nothing major.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, there's a lot of wrestling happening this week, and go support your small local promotions, because it's always worth doing that. You never know. You might see the next big thing in wrestling.
You might well do.
Let's get on with a further roundup, shall we?
Let's, because it's an hour and 20 minutes in and my neck is starting to prick.
Mine too. Oh, I'm old.
PEW. The PEW Heavyweight Championship will be on the line at Legacy on the 30th of July as Martin Kirby is forced to defend his championship against James Mason after it was concluded that the Entitled were behind the hideous and heinous attack on Mason at Jubilee.
Yeah, and I must send an apology to Pete Hayes. I mispronounced. For some reason, I have no idea, but in my head I thought it was Peter Layden, but it's Pete Hayes, and I very much apologise that I got that wrong when discussing the commentators, when I said that Simon Hill and Dave Bradshaw are almost my newest favourite combination of commentators. So sorry about that.
Sorry.
South Pro Wrestling, unfortunately, Myron Reed and Chris Ridgway will be no longer available for the South Pro debut show, which was set to take place on the 1st of October in Manchester. Both members, both were part of a triple threat match along with Malik, with the winner moving on to the championship match on a future show. One of the replacements has been announced. Top US independent star Warhorse will be returning to the UK for South Pro. So
cool.
Still a big name, still a good name. Still, I again, this is a company that's going to be brand new. You look at what they're doing, you can see their policies clear and simple. You can see how well they're marketing, and just a promotion I think that is worth supporting.
Well done. North Wrestling, the boisterous behaviour. The team of man like Darice and Leon Slater have become the new North Wrestling NCL Tag Team Champions, defeating Crash Boat. In the finals of the Tag Team Tournament at the North Wrestling Party Till You Puke anniversary show this past Saturday. Will they defend their new titles at North Wrestling's next show, getting away with it on the 11th of September? We shall see.
Indeed. Yeah, I love Crash Boat. And boisterous, I love Leon Slater and boisterous behaviour. So this is a match I want to see.
The new T-shirts are cool.
Yes, they are. I've got their old one up at the moment. The long sleeve Crash Boat is up there on my ever changing it. It rotates, so you can see each one every now and then a bit more clearly than last. I've got old and Warren Banks over there. Finn Balor down the bottom. Shota and my Black Tiger one. And man like Darice up there. So send me T-shirts.
Title Championship Wrestling.
Title Championship Wrestling. Next for Title Championship Wrestling is Once More with Feeling. And this is on the 24th of July in Huddersfield. The TWC Heavyweight Champion Brady Phillips defends against HT Drake. The TWC Women's Champion Ivy defends against Harley Harris. Jet Marshall versus Jack Bandicoot versus Dynamite Lee, and many more great matches are being announced.
Black Country Championship Wrestling. Chantel Jordan, LA Taylor, and Lana Austin will all be making their debuts against each other in a triple threat match. Nice booking. Plus, Eddie Ryan will make his debut for Black Country at Project Empire on the 22nd of July in Tipton. Also announced, CJ Rawlings will face Lee Hunter in a street fight. Remember to bring your jeans. Ever since CJ and Lee teamed up and lost against the Clarks, both men have been on the warpath to end each other once and for all. And now they have the opportunity to put this rival to bed in a Tipton street fight.
Of course.
They better fight with Jam.
Indeed. Phoenix Pro Wrestling, they're celebrating their 4th anniversary show with, fuck's sake, not another anniversary show, in Cork City on the 23rd of July. Scott Garland will be there, and he'll be there amongst other places. Session Moff Martina, Debbie Keitel, Justy, Steve Savage, Terry Thatcher, and Anita Ford. But God, Scott Garland is getting around on this tour, isn't he?
Everybody's loving a bit of Scott Garland at the moment.
Got to have a bit of Scotty Too High on your show.
New Generation Wrestling return once more with Eternal Glory on Friday the 16th of October in Hull. The Chase's Mark the Beast Labette will be there. He is a big wrestling fan and a big man. As will Robbie X, Nathan Cruz, Sam Bailey, Tonga, Adam Maxim, Man Like Darice, and many, many more.
See, wrestling is for intelligent people.
Like us.
Like us, yeah. Fight Factory Pro, the FFP Tag Team Championships will be on the line in triple threat action with the Bearded Beauties, JDP and Butch Armstrong, versus PB&J, Philip Boyd and Justy, who are the champions, versus the Saviors of Destiny, Andy Steele and Owen Richards. I believe this is at their Grapple Game show.
Yeah. DOA Wrestling, the lads, Ben Jones and Alex Echo, defend their DOA Tag Team Championships against newcomers Battle Cats at the Marchtown Football Club. Entry is only a $5 and kids go free. Go watch DOA Wrestling. Lovely people.
Indeed. Jurassic Pro Wrestling, they've announced triple threat action for the JPW Championship at Summer Stampede, which is on the 14th of August in Harwich. It will be champion CJ Carter defending against Nino Bryan and Corey McRae. Should be a great match.
What a matchup. That is going to be fantastic. Cornish Pro Wrestling, the new CPW Tag Team Champions will be crowned. The Smoking Aces will face CJX, which is Joey Seven and Jordan Sparks. Also in action, Dan Maloney, Amira Ares, LA Taylor, Lance Cole, and Jason King.
Interesting. Wrestling Resurgence, Spike Trevay and Clementine have been the latest names entered into the Resurgence Rumble at, guess what? Resurgence Rumble on the 6th of August in Leicester. Plus, the Moneywood Blondes will face Bolarama, which is Detective G Money and Elijah. Should be interesting.
It should be. Wrestle Carnival is set to feature Gene Money as he takes on Charles Crowley at Wrestle Carnival's Crowley's Funhouse in a Funhouse match with a special guest referee. It's only Jerry Bakewell. That is on the 10th of September at Bush Hall in London.
Yes, Mr. Tina Salmon, the Tribal Chief of the Big Fat Geeks. Jerry Bakewell is his favourite wrestler. I'm sure he's uber psyched for this. A couple of stories coming out of Europe for you. Body Zoy, which is a Belgian promotion, after his victory over Bobby Guns at the 5th anniversary show, Belgian-born star Alta Sombra once more. And the management of Body Zoy Wrestling have therefore found him the biggest challenge of his younger career. He will face the Black Swan, Current Noir, at Body Zoy 6 on October the 29th in Belgium.
Lucha Libre Barcelona. And Narco Montana will defend the LLB Championship against Noah Striker at LLB 6, which is where the CPF lads are going to be. I think that's the first time I've mentioned them in this show. Bloody hell.
Jesus Christ, you're right. CPF
and that's
for
on
life.
The 16th of July. Whoop.
Go on, lads. Are you going to get a hat? I think I need a hat. CPF hat was set up there somewhere quite nice, don't you think?
I think it would look good.
I think it would look good. Make sure you've got them at the TNT Extreme show, boys. I want a CPF hat for my background. WXW Germany, only friends will get one more shot at the WXW Tag Team Champions, Rotan Flot, at WXW's Dead End on the 23rd of July. Of course, the only friends are Bobby Guns and Michael Knight, the German highlight, and Rottenfott are Nikita Charisma and Michael Shecklenburg. Should be a great tag team match. Heisenberg and Axel Tiska join Cara Noir in Shortcut to the Top Rumble on the 6th of August.
Rings of Europe. Dominita is set to appear at Rings of Europe's Wrestle Clash 24 on November the 5th. Who will face the undefeated Dominita?
Big one there. I know Rings of Europe, they love their British women over there. SAJ Wrestling, SAJ Wrestling's debut show, which featured the stars such as RKJ, LJ Cleary, The Velocities, Yoda Sudi, Nico Ravade, and Francisco Akira, is available now to stream on Vimeo, and I believe it's under £5. I think I'm going to treat myself to it because it had a good few competitors and some good matchups that I really would like to see. And guess what? I'm gonna review it for you guys next week on next week's show. So make sure you tune in next week to the Great British Wrestling Roundup. Till then, make sure to like, subscribe, write a comment or two, share the video around, tell your friends, and remember, one thing above all things else, and I know I've broken the rule myself today, it is don't feed the trolls.